Hello dear students, welcome to our program of mathematics for grade 9. Today we have very important lesson. Properties of proportion. Properties of proportion، خصائص التناسب. تعالوا مع بعض نشوف ايه هو خصائص التناسب، وده اللي هنتكلم عنه النهارده. Follow properties of proportion. The antecedent of the first ratio over antecedent of the second ratio equals the consequence of the first ratio over consequence of the second ratio. The antecedent of the first ratio over antecedent of the second ratio equals the consequence of the first ratio over the consequent of the second ratio. Then, since A over B, A antecedent, B consequent equals C antecedent over D consequent. Therefore, A over C equal B over D. The antecedent of the first ratio over the antecedent of the second ratio equals consequence of the first ratio over consequence of the second ratio. If we multiply h by B over C, any number, we get A over B times B over C equals C over D times B over C. Example, A over C equals B over C, A, B, D, E, C. In triangle ABC, in the opposite figure, ABC is a right angle triangle at B, in which, in the opposite figure, ABC is a right angle triangle at B, in which what? D belongs to line segment AC, belongs to AC, side AC. E belongs to BC, where DE perpendicular to BC. Perpendicular means make right angle triangle. DE perpendicular to BC make right angle triangle. يعني therefore measure of angle DEC is 90 degree. DE equal 3 centimeter and EC equals 4 centimeter. Find AB to BC. AB to BC. Find the ratio between AB and BC. In opposite triangle ABC and DEC, measure of angle B equals measure of angle DEC equals 90 degree, equals 90 degree. Measure of angle C is a common angle in the two triangles. Therefore, measure of angle A equal measure of angle EDC. Therefore, triangle ABC similar للtriangle DEC. Then we deduce that AB over DE from similarity. Remember, AB over DE equals BC over EC. Therefore, AB over 3 centimeter equals BC over 4 centimeter. Therefore, AB over BC antecedent of the first ratio over antecedent of the second ratio equals 3 over 4 consequent of the first ratio over consequent of the second ratio. If A over B equals C over D equals M, then A equals CM and B equals DM, where M is the constant value, not equal 0. If A to B equals 3 to 5, find the ratio 20A minus 7B over 15A plus B. Answer. Since A over B equals 3 over 5, therefore A equal 3M, B equal 5. Therefore, substitution by A and B in terms of M. Since A over B equals 3 over 5, therefore A equals 3M, B equals 5M. Substituting by A and B in terms of M, therefore A 20A minus 7B over 15A plus B equals 20 times 3M equals 60M, 7 times 5M equals 35M over 45M plus 5M equals 25M over 50M. Then cancelled M, therefore equals half. 25 over 50 equals half. Dear students, now we talking about the properties of proportional. احنا دلوقتي بنتكلم على ال properties of proportional. قلنا ان اتكلمنا قبل كده عن ال proportion is a ratio between two terms. First term called antecedent, second term called consequent. Now we have properties of proportion. ال antecedent of first term, first ratio over ال antecedent over second ratio equals consequent of first ratio over consequent of second ratio. نفس الكلام لو احنا اتفقنا وقلنا ان A over B equals C over D, A over B equals C over D, this is proportional. A over B first term over second term, antecedent over consequent. C over D, this ratio between first term, antecedent C, consequent and second term D. بنقول ال A over C, ال A over C, ال A called what? Excellent, called antecedent. Antecedent of what? Antecedent of first term, first ratio. Will C antecedent of the second ratio. ال A over C equals ال B over D at the same constant. بيدوني نفس الكونستنت، بيدوني نفس الكونستنت ratio اللي هي ال M. فلما بنقول A over ال B equals C over ال D equals M, ال M is constant, ال M is constant not equal 0. وده اللي انا هشتغل بيه بعد كده في any problems. ال A equals BM وال C equals DM. Then answer 2. By dividing the terms of the ratio by B not equal 0, then substitution by the value A over B equals 3 over 5. Therefore, 20A minus 7b over 15a plus b equals 20a over b. a over b equals 3 over 5 minus 7 over 15a over b plus 1 equals 20 times 3 over 5 minus 7 over 15 times 3 over 5 plus 1. Therefore, 12 minus 7 over 9 plus 1 equals 5 over 10 equals half, the same ratio. You note that the same ratio equals half. If 9 over 15 equals 6 over 10 equals 3 over 5 are proportional and we added the antecedents and consequent of any two ratio of them, the result will be one of the given ratio. 9 plus 6 over 15 plus 10 equals 15 over 25 equals 3 over 5. We understand that. احنا المفروض نفهم ايه؟ نفهم ان انا عندي property بتقول ايه؟ The sum of antecedent over the sum of consequence equal the same ratio, equal one given ratio. السمشن بتاع الانتيسيدنت of any proportion, first ratio and second ratio. السمشن بتاع الانتيسيدنت over the sum of consequence equal the same ratio. يعني لو احنا قلنا 9 over 15 9 over 15 الريشيو بتاعتها هتبقى equals ايه؟ excellent 3 over 5 و 6 over 10 الريشيو بتاعتها equal ايه؟ excellent 3 over 5. Then if we added the first antecedent plus the second antecedent اللي هي ايه بقى؟ 9 plus 6 over the sum of consequence اللي هي 10 plus 15. 9 plus 6 equals 15 و 10 plus 15 equals 25. يبقى therefore 15 over 25 equal the same ratio 3 over 5. This from properties of proportion. The sum of antecedent over the sum of consequence equal the same ratio. Then 9 plus 3 over 15 plus 5 equals 12 over 20 equal 3 over 5. The same ratio 3 over 5. Another 6 plus 3 over 10 plus 5 equals 9 over 15 equals 3 over 5. 9 plus 6 plus 3, the sum of all antecedents, over 15 plus 10 plus 5, the sum of all consequents, equals 18 over 30 equals the same ratio to 3 over 5. If A over B equals C over D equals E over F, and M1, M2, M3 are non-zero real numbers equals M, then M1A plus M2C plus M3E extra M1B plus M2D plus M3F plus extra equals one of the given ratios. Dear students, we have another property. If we have many ratios, many properties of proportion, A over B equal C over D equals E over F. This all ratio called proportion equals M equal the same ratio. قلنا ال M equals constant not equal 0. Then A plus AM plus CM plus EM over BM plus DM plus FM equal the same ratio. Understand? Then if A over 4 equals B over 5 equals C over 3, prove that A minus B plus C over A plus B minus C equal 1 over 3. Multiplying the two terms of the second ratio by -1. Then add the antecedent and the consequence of 3 ratios. Therefore, A minus B plus C over 4 minus 5 plus 3 equals A minus B plus C over 2. Why? A minus B. ال A over ال 4, ال A equals 4, ال B over ال 5, then ال C over 3. 4 minus 5 plus 3 equals 2, equals 1 of the given ratio. Multiplying the two terms of the third ratio by -1. Then add the antecedent and the consequence of the 3 ratio. Therefore, A plus B minus C over 4 plus 5 minus 3 equals A plus B minus C over 6 equals 1 of the given ratio. From 1 and 2, A minus B plus C over 2 equals A plus B minus C over 6. Therefore, A minus B plus C over A plus B minus C equals 2 over 6 equals 1 over 3, one given ratio. Remember, the sum, the antecedent of first ratio over antecedent of the second ratio equal consequent of the first ratio over consequent of the second ratio. Continued proportion. The quantities A, B, and C are said to be in continued proportion if what? A over B equals B over C. In this proportion, A is called the first proportion, C is called the third proportion, and B is called the middle proportion. This is continued proportion. Example, the numbers 4, 6, and 9 form a continued proportion because 4 over 6 equals 6 over 9, or 6 power 2 equals 4 multiply 9. Where 6 is the middle proportion, 4 is the first proportion and 9 is the third proportion. 6 is the middle, 4 is the first proportion, and 9 is the third proportion. If A, B, and C are in continued proportion, P power 2 equals AC. Middle proportion equal the first times the third. Therefore, B equals positive or negative root AC. Find the middle proportion between each of the two quantities. Find the middle proportion, proportional mean, between each of the two quantities. 3, 7, 5 and 20, I power 2, m power 2. Solution. The middle proportion equals positive or negative square root 3 by 27 equals positive or negative square root 81 equals positive or negative 9. Number 2, the middle proportion equals positive or negative square root 5 times 20 equals positive or negative square root 100. Excellent, equal positive or negative 10. Then the middle term equal positive or negative 10. The middle proportion equals positive or negative square root I squared m squared equals positive or negative I m. Dear students, continuous proportion. What's meant by continuous proportion? Continuous proportion, we have 3 numbers or 3 terms, A, B, C, not D, without D. This if A, B, C are said to be continuous proportion if what? If A over B equals B over C, then B is the middle proportion called middle proportion. البي هنا هتبقى ازاي؟ البي هتبقى second term or second proportion, second ratio, and البي again third proportion. احنا بنقول ان الA first والبي second. المفروض ان كان في البروبورشن اللي احنا اخدناها قبل كده ان السي هي الثيرد والدي هي الفورث. قال لي لا، في الكونتينوس بروبورشن لازم اعمل ديفرنس ما بين البروبورشن اللي احنا متعودين عليه والكونتينوس بروبورشن. قال لي الكونتينوس بروبورشن لازم يكون عندي 3 terms only, 3 numbers. A over B equals B over C. يعني معنى كده ان البي هنا middle، يعني البي second وثيرد. السكند ملتبلاي الثيرد equals الفورث times الفيرست. A times C equals B power 2. طيب لما اكون عايزه البي باور 2، عشان اكون عايزه البي باور 2 لازم احط البي باور 2 تحت السكوير روت، وبالتالي اقدر اجيب الاي سي. فيبقى بنقول البي equals square root positive or negative square root AC. AC. This is called continuous proportion. If B is the middle proportion between A and C, prove that A power 3 minus 4B power 3 over B power 3 minus 4C power 3 equals what? B power 3 over C power 3. Prove ان A power 3 minus 4B power 3 over B power 3 minus 4C power 3 equals B cube over C cube. Since B is the middle proportion between A and C. طبعا زي ما احنا عارفين ان ال B middle proportion between A and C. Therefore A over B equal B over C. Excellent. هنا ال B second proportion will be again third proportional. This is continuous proportional. A over B equals B over C equals M. Therefore B equals CM. A equals CM squared. Therefore left hand side equals A power 3 minus 4B power 3, B power 3 minus 4C power 3 or C cube equals CM power 2 all to the power 3 minus 4 CM all to the power 3, CM all to the power 3 minus 4C power 3 equals c power 3 m power 6 minus 4 3 power 3 m power 3 distributive property. عملنا distributive proportion ما بين ال c power 3 و m power 6 over c power 3 m power 3 minus 4c power 3 equals m power 6 minus 4m power 3. Why? Because we take 3c power 3 as low common factor. m power 3 minus 4 برضو هناخد ال c power 3 common factor فهيتبقى عندي m power 3 minus 4 equals m power 3 m power 6 minus 4m power 3 هناخد ال m power 3 common factor فهيبقى m power 3 minus 4 m power 3 minus 4 هيتكنسل ال up مع ال down فهيتبقى عندي equals m power 3. Dear students, now we reach at the last session. Thank you and goodbye.